Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Me Banshee, also known as Alexis. I don't know what names we're using, real life names, pretend names. Who knows? Anyways, let's throw some music on here. I like this Kingdom of the Stars. I think it fits. Okay. We are going. Wow, frog in my throat. Okay, we are going to get started. I've got about an hour and a half or so that I can spend playing some of this game. So, just as a recap, where we last left off, Argonia had used Discord to fight off a gigantic creature that was attacking the village. And Dusksong is still in chaos. The ship has still just crashed. It hasn't even been a week. People have been moving supplies out of the half of the ship that they were in, the kind of like the residential half area. And there's enough supplies for a couple of weeks, but after that, there's going to be some major issues. The attitude is tense. Magnus, who is the leader, is really trying to keep the atmosphere upbeat. He was the civilian leader, the captain of the Dusksong while it was in space. But Kiri Nisar is the military general, like the high general. I don't know what it would actually be called, but like a 5-star general type character. Has been clashing, and it has been a fairly public clash, and the sentiment in Dusksong is really mixed about like who should be in control. This is a dangerous place with dangerous times. Some people would feel comforted that the military had things under control, while others, particularly like the scientists, the medics, things like that, they've never been under military control before and they don't want to be. They're worried about things like research being used as weapons and things like that. So there is a lot of chaos. I've got an idea between sessions about kind of what I want to be doing today, and I will be swearing a new vow here in a little bit. But I do want to know whether this request that I'm about to get is being headed, this project is being headed by the civilian or the military. Both of them are going to be involved, but who got control of the project? And I am going to roll a D100, and if it's a 60% or less, then it's going to be the civilians that are in control of this project. I rolled a 16. So it is mid-morning, a couple days after they've landed here. I wonder how long the days are on this planet. Let's roll like a D40. 31 hours. That's a long time, but I do like that, like, on this planet are 31 hours long. And, like, that's definitely hard. People don't have 31-hour long internal clocks. I don't even know if we could adjust to 31-hour internal clocks. That's a very, very long time to be awake. It's a very, very long time to be asleep. So I think, like, people are always tired, always a little bit cranky, things like that. We knew that this day night cycle was going to be longer than Earth's, but like it's one thing to know it intellectually, and it's another thing to be feeling it, in real life, for lack of a better phrase. So Argonia is tired and exhausted. She's spent the early morning helping lug supplies out of the main ship. There's an area that's been set aside for storage. It's called the warehouse, but it's really more of a unrefrigerated shack of sheet metal than it is anything else. But it's built on one of the larger plots of dry ground in this swampy area that they have crashed in. I think it's Packrat who finds Argonia. Packrat comes over. He's still injured. I never did figure out what his actual injury was. But I think it's probably just I go this way a lot. But I think it's probably a broken leg. And so he's got crutches. It's in a cast. It's been broken really badly. So, like, it's going to need either advanced sci-fi medical treatment at some point, or it's going to cause him pain for the rest of his life. But it is visibly in, I don't even think a cast because of the conditions we're in right now. I think it's been, like, splinted with twigs and branches torn from the local shrubbery. And Argonia looks at him and says, "Sir, what are you doing out here? You should be resting." And Packrat looks at her and says, "Resting? As if there's time to rest." And Argonia's like, "But still, sir, you're in no condition." And Packrat, "Agreed. However, there is work to call. The general wants to see you." The general has ordered you attend a meeting that Captain Idris is calling. And Argonia is like, "Oh, I mean, of course, sir. Do we know what the meeting's about?" And Packrat nods. "Yeah. I'm sure Captain Idris would like to be the one to tell you, but, and she didn't hear this from me, but he wants you to take Discord and set up a radio tower so that we can find the missing half of the ship." And Argonia says, "Oh, okay, lead the way, I guess." And Packrat limps back towards the big, I really think it's a tent more than anything. A big, like, improvised tent of sheet metal and fabric that is used as kind of like the command center. Inside, there's a long table. And General Idris is there, standing next to the general. They're standing right next to each other at the head of the table. And the general opens her mouth to say something, but Captain Idris cuts in. Ah, Argonia, Harmony, thanks for coming. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you could make it. And the general says, she was ordered to make it. Yes, yes. Well, nonetheless, I'm happy. I'm happy nonetheless. Look, we have a project for you. And Argonia looks at the general, and Kiri nods, like, unhappily, but nods her assent. And Argonia says, okay, what's going on? And Captain Idris says, so, I've been having our people work on a little project. I didn't want to say anything until I knew it was coming together, but it's just about ready. You see, we face a problem. It's a problem that everyone is thinking about, but not very many people are actually talking about. And it's the problem of supplies. Yes, it feels like there are a lot of supplies aboard our crashed ship. However, most of them will spoil within the next 2 weeks. And beyond that, even if they didn't spoil, we'd only have a month or so of supplies left. No, it's not enough. We need to find the other half of the Dusk Song. We need to know where it went down. And from there we can make a decision. Either we go out and find the supplies ourselves, or we take up the entire settlement and go find it. But this settlement is not going to survive without those supplies. And I have decided that Discord should be the one to do this. If we send anyone else, we'll need a full construction crew to get the radio tower up and running, but Discord is big enough to do it itself. And the general looks at Argonia and says, Soldier, you have to understand. The longer you are gone, the longer Dusk Song will be without the protection of Discord. Should another one of those giant monsters attack, we will be, well, not helpless. Of course, we will have the power to protect the village, but we will be at a great disadvantage. So I need you to do this. I need you to do it fast. I need you to get back here as fast as possible. And Argonia nods and says, okay, do we have the supplies for it? And Captain Idris says, of course. I have set aside some supplies and all of the equipment you are going to need in order to get the radio tower up and running. Meanwhile, we will be putting our own tower up here at the settlement, but we don't need Discord for that. As I said, we need a construction crew, and, well, we have a construction crew right here. And Carrie nods and says, okay, I'll go collect the supplies and I'll get started. Do you want me to head out today? And the general looks at her and says, of course, soldier, the sooner the better. Go fast, get back safe. And Argonia salutes and says, sir, yes, sir, and walks out. And we are going to swear an iron vow now. This is a quest move. Swear an iron vow. Write your vow and give it a rank. I vow to get the radio tower up. And then, I want to make this formidable, but not extreme. When you swear upon iron to complete a quest, write a vow, give it a rank, then roll plus heart. Okay, so can we just save this? Is this saved? Yes. Okay, Roll plus heart. A strong hit. On a strong hit, you are emboldened, and it is clear what you must do next. Take 2 momentum. Okay, and I think that it is pretty clear what we must do next. We have to get a radio tower up. We are in the middle of a swamp here. The radio tower really needs to go up on like a hill or on top of a mountain or something. And the higher it can get, the better. We have no idea what the surrounding landscape of this is. The Dusk Song crashed in a swamp. We've been on the planet for literally less than a week. We don't know what's out there. We don't know, outside of the giant creature that attacked us, what kind of alien life is out there. We don't know. Maybe the whole planet is just swamps and there's no good place to put up a radio tower. But we're going to do our best here. I am going to refill our supplies here to get started. And Argonia is going to go jump into Discord. The mech's chest opens, revealing the cockpit. Argonia climbs inside, and the mech says, "Welcome, Harmony. All systems are activated. No damage to report." And Argonia, aka Harmony, says, "Thank you, Discord. We're going to build a radio tower, and we need to get somewhere high. Do you have any ideas?" "I am unable to provide that information. My scans cannot penetrate the foliage of the swamp more than half a mile out." Yeah, I know. Can you pick a direction?" And "I could pick a random direction if that's what you want to do." And Argonia shrugs and says, "I mean, I don't have a better idea, so random direction it is." Northwest. "We should proceed in a northwest direction. Although, I should note that we do not know what direction the poles are, or if there is any magnetism at them, so the concept of north, east, south, and west is a little bit wrong." And Argonia shrugs and says, "You know what? Instead of picking a direction, why don't we just turn around in a circle, and then whatever way we end up facing counts as north?" And Discord says, "Okay, Harmony, until further information, that is as good a thing to do as any." All right, we are going to head out, and this is going to be undertake an expedition. When you trailblaze a route through perilous space, journey over hazardous terrain, or survey a mysterious site, give the expedition a name and a rank. I don't know if there is a place to track that here. I think we'll just add it as a vow, I guess. This is an expedition rank, and this is find the high place. We're going to make it, I don't want it to take all day. We're going to make it dangerous. Then for each segment of the expedition, envision your approach. If you move at speed, roll plus edge. On a strong hit, you reach a waypoint. Envision the location and mark progress per rank of the expedition. On a weak hit. Okay. So we're just going to start moving. Discord cannot fly. It's got like jets on its feet, and it can jump. It can make pretty big jumps, but it cannot actually fly. And so what we end up doing is like using the jets to blast off the ground for a little bit, and then we like make these almost leapfrogging jumps through the air as Discord lumbers through the swamp. Um, I think this is plus iron because I think we're really just smashing our way through trees and we're not particularly going fast. We're not being subtle. We're just forcing our way through the terrain here. Uh, which, like, isn't really one of our options, but it is what I'm going to roll anyways. So let's see what we get. Plus iron. We got a strong hit. On a strong hit, you reach a waypoint. Envision the location and mark progress per the rank of the expedition. So, I think we go for kind of a long time. The days here are 31 hours. That's like a full day cycle. So it, half of that is night or whatever. Not exactly half, depending on the season and the sun and things like that. But I think we trek for almost 16 hours. And I think like we do see wildlife. We see some creatures scurry off as our massive mech disrupts the scene. But there's no danger. There's no other big monsters or anything. And it is still just swamp. We go for miles and miles and miles, and it is just swamp as far as we can see. And finally, it's getting dark, and we come up on a little... It's almost an island in the middle of the swamp that is high enough up to stay dry through the night. And I don't even know if Harmony gets out of the mech. I think it's just like we get an image of Harmony saying, "Okay, Discord, you can shut down for the night." Affirmative, Harmony. See you in the morning. And then the mech's blue eyes stop glowing. They turn dark. And we just get this vision of this 2-story tall mech poking out of the branches of dead trees that have drowned in the swamp. And the sun sets off to the side. And it's dark. Harmony is going to reach a waypoint, and that is actually a quest stone, a milestone, not a waypoint. Or wait, you reach a waypoint, and a waypoint is not a milestone. Oh. Are we going to explore a waypoint? No, we're not going to explore a waypoint. Okay, so we mark progress. We get... Nope. I want to delete this. Completed. Okay. Okay, we're going to mark progress here. The night passes. When Harmony wakes up, it is still dark again because night is longer than she is adapted for. And so she doesn't want to set out in the dark. I think she like pokes Discord and says, "Discord, can you activate please?" And its eyes blur out blue glowing in the night. And she says, Discord, I was wondering if we could talk. Of course we could talk, Harmony. What do you want to talk about? And Harmony says, do you record our conversations? I can't believe I've never asked that before, but it seems relevant. Of course I do, Harmony. All of our conversations are recorded and shared with military personnel. Oh, okay. Well, it's dark outside. I know you kind of know, but Firestarter died. Of course. Her name was registered among the dead during the crash. Yeah. And like, so many other people died, and I'm lucky no one else close to me did. My parents survived. And so many other people lost family and friends, and it feels selfish, but I miss Ayako. I miss Firestarter. Do you miss Firestarter? I do not miss anyone, Harmony. I am incapable of missing someone. Yeah. I know. And we are making a connection here with a thing that has no feelings, but we're going to do it. This is making make a connection. When you search out a new relationship or give focus to an existing relationship, not an ally or companion, roll plus heart. Is there a different move for doing something with an ally? Is there a move for finding an ally? Aid your ally. Session moves. Boy. Fate moves. I don't know what this is. Maybe there isn't a move here. Maybe this is just part of the waypoint, and I think that's fine. A few more hours pass. It becomes day, and they are going to set out again. I think we want to set a course. Sort of. That's not really what I want to do. I kind of think we're just going to use Undertake an Expedition again. Which, like, is not really, I think, what the system wants, but it is what I'm going to do, because I don't know what the system wants. So we are going to roll again. Again, we're doing plus iron to kind of smash our way through things here. On a weak hit, make a suffer move, -2, or 2 suffer moves, -1. Or face a peril at the waypoint. Envision what you encounter. I like the idea that we face a peril at our next waypoint. And I do think that we should get out of the swamp here. So let's look at biomes. A temperate rainforest. Is there... Let's consult the oracle real quick here. Is there a high point in this rainforest for our radio tower? I think 50-50. Yes, there is. Okay. So I think that, like, probably the waypoint we get to is where we're going to set up this radio tower. It's at a high point. So we travel for a few more hours in the morning, and it's early afternoon in this strange 31-hour day. When we can see again, because Discord is taller than the trees, even in this rainforest. We can see Discord's head sticking up out of the trees, and Discord says, Argonia, there is a large hill above. I do believe it would be a decent place a suitable place to set up your radio tower. And Argonia nods and says, okay. Let's do it. And they get there, but we have to face a peril here. Let's roll. Let's ask the Oracle a couple of moves here. Is this peril one of the giant monsters? Which I feel is pretty likely. Yes, it is. Okay. There is a Oracle in here, I do believe, that is about Creature Oracle. Okay, this is a... Well, it's a land or an air. Is this creature a land creature? No, it's an air creature. This is a flying creature. It's a jellyfish creature. It's huge. So this is a massive jellyfish like creature. Revealed creature aspect. Enhanced strength. It's super strong. Does it surprise us? And I think that's a 50-50. Yes, it does. Okay. So we are leapfrogging our way up this hill when this creature drifts down from the sky, and it's never seen anything like us before. Are we food? Are we a hunter? It doesn't know, and it's going to find out. And it's going to find out by basically attacking us here. So we are going to enter the fray immediately. Envision your objective and give it a rank. So we need to make... This is the Jellyfish of Doom. I should really come up with a better name for it. I'm going to make it formidable. I think this is a dangerous fight. Progress, I guess, is what this is. Okay. Envision the objective. Give it a rank. If the combat includes discrete challenges or phases, set an objective with a rank for each roll. Then roll to see if you are in control. I think we are just not in control. The fight begins, and we are immediately in a bad spot. So that means we have to clash. When you are in a bad spot and fight back against a foe at close quarters, roll plus iron. Um, the jellyfish attacks first. It comes out of the sky and it's got this really long whip like tentacles that smash down into Discord. Warning lights light up in all directions, and Discord's integrity immediately falls. Uh Discord inside Discord. Harmony, alert, alert. Hostile outside, attacking. No shit, Discord. We've got to fight back. Get our sword out. Drawing sword. And we're going to clash. We are at close quarters. We're going to roll plus iron. We get a strong hit. We mark progress twice. We overwhelm our foe and are in control. So, we smash. We draw our laser sword, and it's hot and thin enough to slice through one of the tentacles. We leapfrog backwards, our jets setting some of the canopy on fire, I think. But it quickly goes out. We're in a rainforest. We're not in danger of setting a campfire here. But then we're looking at the creature. And we've got a moment to hit. And Harmony says, Targeted center mass. Target acquired. Fire shoulder cannons. And we are going to... When you are in control and assault a foe at close quarters... Okay, so we're going to roll plus edge here. We get another strong hit. Our shoulder cannons, we see in our HUD a target centering the jellyfish's center of mass. Our shoulder cannons erupt, and we get a really good shot off. Target hit. Damage minimal. The jellyfish shakes the thing off and comes back in, forcing us back into melee action. It lashes out with more tentacles. We are still in control, though. So as it lashes out with the tentacles, we strike again, swinging our laser sword almost in a circle, threatening to slice off more of its tentacles. This is plus iron. We got another strong hit. Zoom, zoom, zoom. 3 tentacles lash off, but this jellyfish has so many of them. We're going to mark progress. And this time, instead of leaping backwards, we pivot from from this strike, seeking to slam the laser sword into the jellyfish's center of mass. What is battle? Oh, this is neat. We're not doing this, though. We're going to strike again. Plus iron. Weak hit. You mark progress twice. Oh, I should have marked progress. Okay, we're doing really good here. So we're going to mark progress twice. But we expose ourselves to danger, and we are in a bad spot. And what happens is we're right up. We're like in the middle of all the tentacles. We're staring up into what looks like a giant... there's a word for it, and I'm losing it. It looks like a giant mouth with just like dozens of rows of sharp teeth in a spiral leading down. And as it comes down, it starts spinning so that it will almost be like a reverse drill and carve us to pieces. This is how it chews its food. Um, and I think we're going to make one more clash roll here. This is plus iron. Plus iron plus edge. What do we do as it's coming back? I think that we do the quote unquote brave thing. As the teeth are coming out, we take our laser sword and try to jam it up into the strange maw. This is plus iron. A strong hit. We mark progress twice. And we slash the sword up into the creature's mouth, and it screeches backwards, but we're not going to let it escape here. We're going to take decisive action. We rocket upwards into its mouth with the laser sword held above us, and we're just going to smash through it if we can. Envision how you take decisive action, then roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. So we are going to make a progress roll with 9 progress. We get a strong hit. We prevail. We get momentum. We're up to 9 momentum, which is great. We smash through this thing. I don't think it dies. I don't think we kill it. But as we land, it's clearly wounded and it flies back up into the sky. And the answer to its question, is that food, is clearly no. That is absolutely not food. And we are going to mark this as completed. Okay. Now we're at the top of this hill, and we are on our waypoint. And now that we've reached the waypoint, let's find out anything about it here. I wonder if we should roll this waypoint and find out if there's anything interesting going on. Is there like a waypoint generator? Faction oracles. Location theme oracles. Theme type. So I think there are ruins up here. Graves or corpses. That's interesting. So as we get up onto this hill, it actually opens out into a clearing. It's not a natural clearing. The trees here have been cut down, although probably cut down a long time ago. In the center of this clearing, there is a... I mean, this is Ironsworn. So I think there's a black metal... I don't want to call it iron necessarily, but there's a black metal monument, and it is alien. It's the equivalent of an obelisk in the sense that, like, there's nothing inside of it, but it's not an obelisk. It's got like these 5 twisting tendrils that rise into the air. And Harmony says, Discord, can you please scan for danger? And we're going to gather information here. Strong hit with a match. So we discover something helpful and specific. We gain +2 momentum. We are at maximum momentum. I should find out how to use that, but we've been rolling really, really well today, so I don't know. Discord looks at it and says, scanning Harmony. Harmony, my scans say that this is some sort of unknown alloy. However, it is not hollow, and there are no power signatures coming from it. I would like to note that there is clearly some sort of writing. It must be alien writing, written in spirals along the surface of the formation. Further, if you put the radio tower here, the formation's metallic alloy will boost its power. This would be an ideal spot to put the radio tower up. And gather information. We took the +2 momentum. So we have found the high place here. I think we want to explore what this Argonia says, okay, thank you, Discord. I'm going to get out and take a look around. And so we see the hatch open and Harmony climb down Discord's leg. And we are going to explore a waypoint. Roll plus wits. Miss. On a miss, you encounter an immediate hardship or threat and must pay the price. Pay the price. When you suffer the outcome of an action, choose one. Make the most negative outcome happen. Ask the Oracle for inspiration. Yeah, let's ask the Oracle, because I'm not sure. What, like... like peril. Dreadful atmosphere of loss and destruction weighs upon you. So maybe this is a spirit thing. We have already explained that the dead on this world do not rest easy. After they die, they always come back to life, and they are more zombie than person. There are not zombies here, but Argonia gets out and starts looking around, and she approaches the structure. And it is shadowy and it's alien to her. I don't even know if she realizes that this is a monument for the dead. But there is a sense of deep, deep sorrow here. And that might just be the metal. This might be like sorrow iron or something magical kind of in that direction. I don't know about that, but it reminds her of her friend. We were just talking about this. It reminds her of Firestarter, and she has a flashback. Firestarter was the only other pilot in the military that was considered a good enough pilot to drive Discord. Sometimes Harmony and Firestarter would make these obstacle courses outside the ship and race each other one by one to see who could do the obstacle faster, and they were always competitive. And it's an afternoon after one of the races, and they've just been working so hard, and now they're at a I think it's like a bar on board the Dusk Song, and it's got this gigantic window that looks out into the dark of space. And I think this is mostly a military bar, and so there's a bunch of other soldiers that are like eating and drinking and things like that. And it's just this picture of Firestarter and Harmony having fun with each other, drinking. I think maybe they're playing cards with each other. This one-on-one game that's about slapping cards down onto the table as fast as you can. It's a game about speed, just like their whole relationship is kind of about speed. And they're laughing, and they are so happy, and they don't even know how happy they are. And now Firestarter's gone, and we'll never have that experience again. Harmony and Firestarter, they used to say, they're inseparable. They might as well be sisters. But now Harmony and Firestarter have been separated forever. And we feel this sorrow. And I think Argonia kind of blinks away some tears and realizes that her hand is up against the black metal, the structure here. And I think I do want to say that magic, I haven't really talked about magic on this world, but magic on this world is emotion mixed with iron alloys. And this is Sorrow Steel. Ooh, that's a really good name for it. Sorrow Steel. I want to maybe make a discovery, though. I think, like, we're looking at... I don't really know exactly what else I want to do here. I'm worried that if we use this finish the expedition roll, that we're not going to finish. We're going to fail it because I've only marked progress on the expedition once. But I also feel a little bit like the expedition has come to an end. Roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. On a strong hit, you reach your destination. Mark a reward. On a weak hit, but you face an unforeseen complication. Um, I mean, how else do we mark progress? Like, exploring the waypoint does give us progress. Are we going to just explore this further? We're drawn by the sorrow further into. Again, there's like these kind of spiraling structures rising out of a central mass. Maybe like the mass looks. I don't think we would build the radio tower on the center mass, but I think we're still fighting back tears and we're still interested. And I'm going to explore the waypoint one more time. And more than that, if I fail, I'm probably going to use momentum here. Okay, I miss. And boy. Um Gosh, even burning momentum would only get us a weak hit because we rolled a 10 on the challenge die. That's rough. We're going to pay the price again. Is this more sorrow, or do we fall down and like scratch our hands on the surface? Maybe we scratch our hands and the blood interacts with the sorrow steel somehow? On a miss, encounter an immediate hardship or threat and you must pay the price. I'm a little bit feeling like the system is fighting against me here. Okay, I think we're going to take some health. I think I want to ask the Oracle, does our blood interact with the Sorrow Steel? And it does. Um, does the Sorrow Steel act? I really don't know what we're doing here. Okay. I'm just. We fall down, and flavor wise, we try to grasp onto the structure to prevent our fall, and the structure is sharp underneath the hand, underneath our skin where we touch it, and it draws blood, and as it draws blood, the spiral alien writing all around the structure lights up in silver light. And it is strange and ethereal and sad. And we smash into the ground and we take a point of health damage. And Argonia, I think, like, kind of looks at this and is like, okay, enough playing around, she says to herself. And she says, it's time to get the tower up. And we're just going to make a progress roll here. And I guess we have momentum that we can spend on this. So maybe that's how it works. This isn't really... Okay, so I did the wrong thing here. Finish an expedition. On a miss, your destination is lost to you, or you come to understand the true nature or cost of the expedition. Envision what happens and choose one. See, I don't want to do this. That's not like I don't want a bad thing to happen to my character, but it's very much a... Like, I'm here, I found the high place. I already said that Discord scanned the thing and said that it would enhance the radio signal. So, like, I don't think the destination is lost to me. Well, okay. So maybe it is. Maybe it's because of that jellyfish creature. Okay. I want to add, like, a page of interesting locations. And I'm just gonna put Sorrow Steel Monument by the herd of jellyfish monsters. Is there a move to put up the radio tower? Like secure an advantage, maybe? Like, I need to be able to make progress. Scene challenge moves. Check your gear. We already stated that we have the gear we need to build this. I think we just have to build it. Okay. I think maybe milestones are what we're looking for. Reach a milestone. I'm going to say that we reach a milestone here. We get all of the equipment we need to. We've got the Sorrow Steel structure in front of us here. We're going to reach a milestone. You may mark progress per the rank of the vow. And this, so I'm going to mark progress on the vow to get the radio tower up. We're going to fill a box here. And we build the radio tower. Discord uses its giant mech body to, like, dig a deep hole in the ground, and then we have these metal poles that we can basically solder together, and we've got this electronic radio thing at the top, and it's got, like, a battery that's going to last a very, very long time here. And we put the tower up, and it works. And Discord, Harmony says, Discord, can you get a signal? Searching for signal now, Harmony. Signal acquired. Oh, thank God. Okay. Send a message back to the Dusk Song. Let them know. And Harmony says, attempting to establish contact with Dusk Song. No contact can be established. Most likely this is because Dusk Song has not got its radio tower up yet. And Harmony nods and says, okay. I get it. Um, we need to edit find a high place. When we on a miss, your destination is lost. We're going to roll both of our challenge dice. We got a 4 and a 6. So we're going to reset our progress here. We have no progress on this. What happens is, as Harmony is waiting and hoping from a signal from base, Discord says, Harmony, I am detecting 7 of those flying jellyfish monsters, and they are congregating upon our location. And Harmony's like, what? 9 of them? Affirmative, Harmony. What would you like me to do? Do you know why they're coming here? And we're going to gather information here. I get a miss. Which is actually kind of what I wanted, I guess, although I have to pay the price. On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the price. The price is easy. So we're watching the creatures come down, and they are drawn by the radio tower. Harmony thinks maybe they'll come after her or Discord, but they don't. They smash themselves into the tower, and it's a radio tower. It's designed to stand up to like wind and things like that, right? But it's a little haphazard. It's not designed to take on this sort of thing. Does one of the jellyfish eat the electronic radio, like the transponder part? Let's go 50-50. No, it doesn't. So the jellyfish knock it down, and it stops working. And as it stops working, they drift away. And the true fact of the matter here is that the radio tower is drawing the jellyfish monsters. And that complicates the situation a lot. Harmony says, Discord, can you tell why the tower drew those creatures? Is there anything we can do about that? And Discord's going to scan, and we're going to gather information. And Discord scans. I'm going to... I don't want to burn momentum on this. On a weak hit, the information provides new insight but complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take a +1 momentum. We're already at maximum momentum, which means I'm not burning it enough. Discord says, scanning. Harmony. I believe it is the structure. I told you it was enhancing the radio signal, but I believe that enhancement is luring the creatures. So are you saying that if we put the radio tower up somewhere else, that they might not be drawn to it? I do believe that is the case. I think it is the structure that is stopping, that is drawing the creatures. Okay. Okay, so that just means we need to find a new high place. Okay. Alright, I guess that's not that bad. I need to see if we can salvage any of the radio tower, though. And now I am going to check gear. When you check to see if you have a specific helpful item or resource, roll plus supply. We have a lot of supply, so I think it's probably pretty easy to salvage the radio tower to be able to put it back up again. We're going to roll. We get a strong hit, absolutely. Argonia spends a little bit of time gathering the resources. It's getting dark about now. It's time for that seemingly endless period of darkness. And I am going to check a milestone here. We didn't get the radio tower up, but we learned things. We gained meaningful insight on it. And I think Harmony says, all right, Discord, we're going to spend the night here. And then she thinks about it. And in her HUD, she can still see the sorrow steel structure behind her. And she shakes her head. Actually, no. Can you go down the hill a little bit, Discord? And Discord says, of course, Harmony. And they go down the hill. And in the darkness, Harmony says, all right, Discord, you can conserve power. Activating sleep mode. Good night, Harmony. Good night, Discord. And what I really want is is there maybe a recover move? When you find a moment of peace. On a strong hit, you find companionship or comfort and your spirit is strengthened. I think we're going to do this. It's dark and we see Harmony curling up inside the mech. And it's been a lot. The Dusk Song crashed. And then there were the dead and her friend. And then there was the giant dragon-like creature. And now there's these jellyfish that are ruining the radio signal. And it seems like every time the Dusk Song and its people want to do something, this hostile world just throws them back, as if the hostile world doesn't want them, as if it is denying them. but something about being up by that Sorrow Still monument. When she was there, it was so sad. But it made her think about happy memories. And even though Harmony and Firestarter are separated, they were together for a long time. And nothing can take that from them. Even after they are both dead, that time in the past when they were together will still exist. And Argonia cries, and she's sad. But she's also hardened. Possibly. We're going to roll to see. Strong hit. Yeah, she's also hardened. Our spirit's going to go back up. And the quest is still before us. We still have to find a high place. We still have to get the radio tower up. Our friends are still dead. And Dusk's song is still unlikely to survive. And so much of Dusk's song's survival rests on Argonia's shoulders. But that's all to face tomorrow when the sun comes up. For now, she can just sleep. And so she does. The last image of this session we get is her curling up almost into the fetal position inside the cockpit of the mech. And she closes her eyes. And we end the session. When you end a significant session or chapter of play, reflect on the events of the game and identify any missed opportunities to mark progress. Oh, interesting. If you strengthened your ties to a connection, develop your relationship. This is the move I was looking for earlier. If you already share a bond with a connection, do not mark progress. When you search out a new relationship or give focus to an existing relationship, roll plus heart. Okay, sure. Strong hit. You create a connection. Give them a role and a rank. Is there a place connections? Add. We're going to put Discord. I want this to be like a long-term relationship, right? So I'm going to mark it as extreme. Whenever your connection aids you on a move closely associated with the role, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. I don't know how that works yet, but develop the relationship. If you already share a bond with a connection, do not mark progress. Instead, roll plus their rank. Okay. Why did it question mark versus 3-3? I don't think that's... roll plus their rank. We need to roll a d6. Plus 4. An 8. So that's actually a success with a match. On a strong hit, mark 2 ticks on your bond's legacy track. Okay. I like that. Okay. We're going to do that. So we developed that relationship. If you moved forward on a quest, reach a milestone. I kind of think we already did that. If there is a quest connection or other situation you would like to give focus in your next session, make note of it and gain +1 momentum. We're already maxed out on momentum here. So this is the end. We're going to leave Argonia sleeping inside of Discord. And we're going to pick this session up later.